Yo, you gotta get back to the basics, bro. Stop with all that extra shit, man. Gotta build that foundation. We gotta learn how to breathe right. We gotta learn how to heal right. We gotta learn how to read, sit down, be still. You can't do anything unless you have the basics. You gotta know how to master the basics and then build from there. Just like in any sports, for example, jiu-jitsu, if you don't know the basics like mount, guard, side control, any of that stuff, you can't do any of that advanced technique, because you're just gonna get destroyed without having good foundations and good, like, being really good at the basics. And we also often lose ourselves because we don't spend time with the simple things, the things that we should master and learn first. And we should know how to look good, feel good, take care of ourselves, breathe well, eat well, have good minds, think well, and learn how to regulate our body and our mind before advancing and going to the next level. And pretty much everyone does that because it's just the type of society we live in and are programmed into. And you can't just jump to level 100. You gotta get to level 1, 2, 3, and so on. Because let's say you just start a video game for the first time and you end up fighting the final boss. You're gonna get your ass kicked because you didn't build up any strength. None of that, man. It's like going into a deadlift for your first time and trying to deadlift 500 pounds. You ain't gonna be able to do that. You gotta know how to do it right, have a good stance, and build up to that. People often just want to skip the levels, skip the steps. But in reality, even though the first few levels and the foundations and building them and cultivating them may be little bit boring, and you want to look good, you want to be up top because you don't want to look bad down low. But the people who build the most steady and strong foundations are often going to be the best, because if you build a building with weak foundations, just a little bit of wind, no matter how tall it is and how good it looks, it's just going to come falling down. And you need to work on those foundations and the basics, like just sitting in silence, learning to be free, learning to think for yourself before doing all this extra shit. Like for clothing, for example, we tend to just complicate it. We don't need to wear all these crazy designs and all these crazy things. Stick with simple colors, have a few different shirts, a few different pants. Same with food. Once you start complicating food with all these chemicals, you start causing sickness and disease and unbalanced. All we really need even for food is just basic staples, and you can create a lot of good, nourishing, healthy things. And yeah, man, it applies to everything in life. Any sport, any activity, anything. Just sticking to the foundations and the basics. Not going ahead of yourself. Don't go ahead of yourself. Don't rush. Peace, family.